There is a moment every man faces, a quiet, almost invisible moment, when something inside him breaks. But not in weakness. It breaks to release him. You stop checking your messages. You stop waiting for her name to appear. You stop rehearsing what you'd say if she returned. And in that stillness, you realize you are no longer chasing. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Chasing what has already chosen to walk away is neither right nor true. It is a lie you tell yourself, that your peace depends on her return. But the Stoic knows peace is not given by others. It is built patiently, inwardly, silently. He who is brave is free, and it takes bravery, not to fight for love, but to stop fighting for what does not fight for you. It takes courage to walk away, not with hatred, but with honor. Because the man who lets go with grace has already won a war most never even see. When you stop chasing, something powerful begins to happen. You start to see clearly the patterns, the illusions, the weight you once carried. You begin to understand that she was never your destination. She was your lesson. Do not wish for things to happen as you wish, but wish for them to happen as they do, and you will go on well. This is the heart of Stoic acceptance. It does not mean you feel nothing. It means you no longer let feeling decide your fate. The man reaches a high terrace overlooking the city. The wind lifts his cloak. Sunlight floods the horizon. You do not stop chasing because she no longer matters. You stop chasing because you finally do. The moment you stop chasing what's gone, you start attracting what is real, your peace, your purpose, your power. There was a time when your silence felt like defeat, when every unanswered message felt like rejection, and every quiet night was a reminder that she was gone. But then something shifted. Your silence began to change its sound. It stopped echoing with longing and started resonating with peace. The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength. The Stoics understood that silence, when born of wisdom, is not emptiness. It is energy restrained. It is the sound of control. You no longer need to explain your worth. You no longer need to remind anyone what they lost. You simply stand still and let time do the talking. He who is brave is free. Your bravery was not in your words. It was in your stillness. You refused to chase what did not value your presence, and that silence became your declaration of strength. The world expects a man to react, to argue, to plead, to prove. But the Stoic knows reaction is a chain. The moment you respond in anger, you lose the very power you were trying to protect. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And you chose not to react. You chose mastery. You chose to hold your ground, to let go without noise, to walk away without leaving pieces of yourself behind. Now your silence speaks in ways words never could. It tells her you are no longer waiting. It reminds her that peace cannot be disturbed by those who no longer belong in it. There is nothing louder than the man who chooses silence, not out of pride but out of power. There comes a time when you no longer resist what happened. You stop asking why and start accepting what is. This is the beginning of detachment, not the death of love, but the birth of understanding. Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny. To the Stoic, detachment is not avoidance. It is alignment. It is trusting that what left you was never meant to stay, and what remains is exactly what you need to grow. You once feared losing her, but what you feared was not the loss of her presence. It was the loss of yourself within her. You were never hers to lose. No man was ever made wise by chance. Pain is not random. Loss is not punishment. They are tools, chisels in the hands of fate, carving you into the man you were meant to become. When you are attached to something not under your control, you make yourself its slave. Attachment is not love. It is dependency disguised as devotion. It is giving your peace to something that can be taken away. But when you release that grip, when you stop trying to control what must be free, you rediscover your own strength. Detachment is not about closing your heart. It is about opening it to truth. To see the world as it is, not as you wish it to be. To love but never cling. To care but never collapse. The moment you detach from what once controlled you, you do not lose power, you become it. There is a silence she once celebrated, the silence of your absence. She thought it meant freedom. But now, that same silence follows her, not as peace, but as a ghost. She begins to feel your absence, not because you punished her, but because you no longer react. Your energy, once loud and desperate, has turned still, focused, and free. The best revenge is to be unlike your enemy, and that is exactly what you've become, unlike what hurt you. Unmoved by chaos, untouched by the past. She sees it, even from afar, the calm in your eyes where fire once burned, the peace in your walk where pain once lived. He who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than necessary, and now it is she who suffers before it's necessary. Because regret arrives early, it does not knock. It whispers through memory. It visits when the noise fades, when the people leave, when she realizes your silence was not weakness, but wisdom. Circumstances don't make the man. They reveal him to himself. Your absence revealed you. Her absence revealed her. You found strength in solitude. She found emptiness in noise. She begins to feel your absence because it no longer seeks her presence. Your energy has shifted, no longer chasing, no longer pleading, no longer waiting. And that calm, that power becomes impossible to ignore. She may remember your words, but she will feel your silence. Because nothing haunts more deeply than the peace of a man she can no longer disturb. The Stoics believed that desire, left ungoverned, is the root of all suffering. Not desire itself, but our attachment to its outcome. You once desired her attention, her warmth, her words, her love. And when they vanished, you mistook their absence for the loss of your worth. But time and silence have taught you a higher truth. Your worth was never hers to validate, nor hers to destroy. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. You have become what few ever do, a man whose peace depends on nothing external. Not her affection, not her approval, not even her memory. This is the Stoic victory, to live in the same world as everyone else, but to no longer be ruled by it. He who is brave is free. You are free because you no longer chase what is temporary. You are free because your happiness is no longer borrowed from others. You are free because desire no longer commands you. You command it. No man is free who is not master of himself. And mastery does not mean you feel nothing. It means you feel everything, but remain unmoved by what you cannot control. It means you walk through storms without losing your center. The greatest victory was never her regret. It was your transformation. For when she realizes you're no longer chasing, you have already won the battle she doesn't even understand. Desire once ruled you, now you rule yourself. And that, my friend, is the peace of a Stoic, the quiet triumph of a man who has mastered his mind. The greatest war ever fought was never on the battlefield, but within the mind of man. Marcus Aurelius.